Good evening and welcome back to Summoners Weekly. My name's JD. We're here with a couple, obviously my co-host.
What's going on, guys? It's Caleb.
And we have two guests here today. One person we've talked a little bit about, the other one who we interact with and see quite a bit. I'll start on this side. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Rylan. Good to be here.
Jubbin.
And we got Justin or Jubbin or whatever he prefers to go by. But this week's podcast is a little different. I think everybody in the Riftbound community has experienced, if they've gone to a pre-Rift event, which you can see the, what is this, like 12 boxes here?
Absolute units.
There's a lot of, I think almost a full case there. But it should be indicative. We have all attended multiple. So let's start off with pre-Rift. How was everyone's pre-Rift experience? Let's start with you, Rylan. I wanted to bring you up because we've talked about you last week. You are relatively new to the game.
Yeah. I've only just started playing in the last 3 weeks, really. I've been collecting for at least 2 months, but just actually starting getting to play.
So you've been collecting Riftbound for 2 months?
Yeah, since like December.
Wow. And so, I remember. So I told the story of us playing, me and Shinya yelling at you how to play, playing better. How was that experience, by the way?
It was enlightening.
And you know what's wild about that is that I would say you're relatively new to the scene. Spiritforged, you're joining and really getting invested and playing around Spiritforged season. But how was your pre-Rift event? Because I know you've been to a couple. I think we were at a couple together. But just tell me, what was your experience as a new player? I want this perspective.
As a new player to the scene, I would say that one of the biggest things is it really helped me learn how to put a deck together. Not just in the sense of getting cards that match the color or such, but like understanding deck synergy was huge with pre-Rift events. Mm-hmm. Especially understanding you only need a couple cards to really make your cycle work.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I think one of the things that, and it's prevalent in every TCG, net deckers, people who go online and they say, what is the best deck? And they're like, I'm going to copy that deck and I'm going to play. I think we've seen, if you have a local scene, Draven. Everyone's on the Draven train. They want Draven. Hey, speaking of Draven, shout outs to Justin for pulling the overnumbered Draven. If you can't see it, there's one on the table right here. We'll get to the pulls in a minute.
Great story.
But Caleb,
I agree. Knowing how to build a deck is everything. You've seen the RE deck. It's completely 100% just based off of what I've played against and getting used to it. If you can take the opportunity to build your own deck, really look into what you're playing against at your local meta, because that's going to be the meta that matters. It's not going to be what is the best deck going on meta worldwide. It's just going to be what's going to play well for you right there in the moment.
Yeah, I'll say for 95% of Riftbound players, you're not going to be competing in a tournament. The max you'll probably ever compete in is a skirmish. If you have aspirations to go to the regional, obviously there's opportunities for that, right? But for a majority of people who play the game, especially with honestly still product being a little tough to get for some people, I feel like, building and homebrewing a deck is easier said than done, because it's also how do you test it, what's good, what's not. But I feel like that's one of the beauties of pre-Rift and any pre-event, pre-release for most card games, right? Is you are forced to decide with what you open there in the moment, what you are going with. And it is all luck. You might get a single rare pack, or you might get the double rare pack. You might get the no rare pack. I don't know if you saw that. There was a guy on Twitter who posted he got scuffed pack in one of his packs, and he did pre-Rift basically -2 rares in his entire series.
Or you're opening multiple legends in a pre-Rift pack, which is just you're cooked. You can't.
I want to talk about feedback specifically for the pre-Rift event here in just a moment, because you and we very briefly talked about that earlier, Justin. Pulling legends out of your pre-Rift kit can sometimes feel a little weird. It's is this really? Anyways, we'll get to pulling stuff, right? But I feel like the beauty of pre-Rift is you construct a deck out of the cards you pull, right? And no one is there to tell you this is going to work. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it, right? Everyone is on the level playing field. And it really shows, like, when you find that bomb, like, for me, it was a Zero Ascendant, right? I was like, holy crap, because, you know, making content for the game and living my life, having a job, and, you know, doing the daily things, I mean, I don't get time to go deep dive into every card. But it's different when you read a card online, but yet in the limited format, it's like, oh my goodness, Azir is cracked out of his mind, moving with action, and you recycle the green or the calm rune, and he moves and you move a unit and you switch an equipment. That's insane. You can do that for battlefields. You can do that to base. I feel like when you pull those cards and you build your deck around those really big heavy hitters, that's what's going to win you. Also, I also want to say, shout out to the 2-3 might units. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to say right now, shout out to those guys, because man, you look at the bombs and the big great worms, the 7 might units, the 6 might units, and you're like, yeah, this, you know, I'm going to play a bunch of these. And in practice, you're like, oh my goodness, it's turn 5. They win next turn, and I now have the resources to actually make this happen. It's
Every deck that I could, I played like 2 things that were more than 4 or 5 cost. And I just put as much, like 2 or 3 costs as I could, because the games go really fast, and like you just need to have those early plays. And if you miss out on an early play, you're behind. You're not going to be able to catch up.
I definitely agree with Justin there. One thing I've learned from playing like different sealed events and stuff like that, your commons and your uncommons matter a lot more than what your rares do. If you're not running with the good uncommons, commons, and you know your little guys to get you where you need to be, those big drops just become obsolete.
Yeah, and man, I learned my lesson the hard way. I played at 3 events. The first one I played at was at one of the bigger stores here in town. I pulled a Lucian out, and I was like, dang, and I pulled a bunch of good orange gear or body gear, and I was like, man, let's do this. I lost every game. I went 0-3, and I was like, this can't be happening. And people are like asking me questions about the game. They're like, hey man, you think this is a good deck? I'm like, dude, I'm 0-3 right now. I am not an authority here to answer your questions, but I'm more than willing to help. You know what I mean? In any way, shape that I can. It's just so funny, like for me, not fully studying the card list and in the moment learning what Thwonk does. Dude. Like it is
Not so fast.
Bro.
You just cry.
Not so fast. Hard bargain. Wages of pain, bro.
Punch first.
Dude,
Punch first is insane. That card is absolutely busted for limited format. It's ridiculous.
I was going to say Punch First is what helped me get a lot of my wins last night when I was playing with Lucian myself. Lucian was quite fun when you had the right cards, but if you didn't, it was pain.
I'm so glad y'all all got good legends. I pulled RENATTA twice.
Yeah, let's talk about RENATTA. Let's talk about that.
And for all my people out there that went to their pre-rift and got RENATTA out of your seeded deck, I know you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Not only was her legend ability just not that great and sealed, her seeded deck just wasn't that great either.
Yeah, it definitely felt like you were not a step behind. Maybe we're just not RENATTA fans and players, because I pulled RENATTA today, because Rylan and Justin and I actually were at the same event earlier today. I opened my pack, and across from me was Shinya. Shinya opens his before I do. He was like, I got RENATTA, I'm cooked. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, like one less RENATTA for me to pull. I opened my pack, it's RENATTA glass. I was like, no.
The only time I've seen someone be happy, like John was very happy when he pulled RENATTA, and I played with him. We were at a 2v2 event at one of the bigger stores, and he pulled RENATTA, and he said, okay, we're good. And I was very surprised by that, but he said because it was a 2v2 event and the other person pulled something else, he was like, we can have good synergies across from each other, like with our units, with whatever.
I can definitely see why RENATTA's good in a 2v2. I will say playing her, it wasn't bad getting the gold tokens, and having the extra tempo over my opponent definitely helped. But my biggest issue was because I just didn't pull the cards that I need, even out of my 5 packs. I didn't have the support I needed for her, and so I wasn't holding, so I wasn't getting the gold tokens. So I was pretty much playing with dead weight. I might have just been better off not using her and getting the extra draw.
Tell us about, so Rylan let us know about his pre-rift experience. Caleb, I know you only had one that you got the chance to participate in. Your first pre-Rift event? Tell me about your experience.
It was crazy because also at the same time as playing, I'm also hosting at the same time. Of course, with the help of my people at my local. But that being said, it's kind of hard to strictly, play when there's 43 people in one building. Everybody's got questions. Everybody's, trying to figure something out. And, it didn't give me a lot of time to think when I was opening up my thing. And I got Jax, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll just switch over to Jax, like hot swap, and, grab any good cards that I could to, build a deck. Cause I was like, okay, I pulled an extra Yone. I have the Yone promo. I'll go ahead and just make a really meaty Jax deck. And then I proceeded to look through all of the cards that I pulled. I pulled maybe a total of like 6 gears. And 4 of which were the stupid green shield.
The Doran shield.
Yes.
It's so mid. It's very mid.
But let's not talk too much crap about
I'm not talking
tank for one.
That's true. I got super unlucky, but that's sealed events though. Like, I mean, other than that, I had a really great time. The energy in the room was just, it was there. And I'm glad everybody had a good time.
It was nice seeing, because I know we talked about it on a previous pod. People were waiting for Spiritforged. The local scenes, I don't know if it's the same for everyone else across the country or the world, right? But I know like locals started kind of like not dying off, but slowing down, right? Lack of price support, lack of product, new set coming out, everyone's saving their money. I will say this, every event that I've been to, which is 3 now, has been to the brim packed. Like so packed that it's like there's too many people in the store right now type beat. And I was like, wow, like I think today's event, not that it was uncomfortable, but the way that the tables were set up, I was like, I am an Oreo in between these people playing. And, that's just, that's not even a Riftbound thing. That's just more of like a side, space thing, right? But I think the excitement is like exactly where it was.
I think that could also be a Riftbound thing. I mean, that level of excitement and hype from every single player. One thing that I was really happy to see as a TO hosting that event was we had one completely new player. Like, he never played the game before. He ended up getting like top 20, top 16 out of the 43 people. And that was just so stoked, super proud of him for, going in and learning the game right then and there. And I saw a couple people that I had done learn to plays with, a lot of our locals that, I helped spend time with learning the game. And a lot of them placed very highly. And I'm just, it kind of makes me feel like a proud dad. I'm like, oh my gosh, all my people are doing well at the event. I'm so happy.
My babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I again, like the excitement, not that it hasn't been there, because everyone's kind of settled into their Origins decks. The meta, not as defined, but is I think people understand, like, what's fun, what's competitive now, right? But with Spiritforged out, everything's different. Everything's different. Justin, before we get on to the next topic, how was your pre-Rift events? I know you've been to a couple.
I went to 4 this weekend, and my brain was fried. I had to go home, take a nap for a little bit. It was crazy. I found it out, but I had a really great time. I think I really got a feel for the set and for some of the new cards that were coming in. So I want to circle back a little bit to Lucian, because he, like, for the game, great, cool, super cool, great synergies with equipment. Super happy that we're having good red-orange support as well, but just his readability for the board state is kind of crazy, especially because he is so gear heavy. Like, I had one with, there was a buff and 5 equipment on him, and every combat that we had, it would take like 30 seconds to figure out what his might was and like what was supposed to happen at the end of it. It was kind of ridiculous. And I pulled him at another event which was less gear heavy, and it felt very different to play that kind of deck without the gear. So I just ended up dropping the legend for the extra draw, and like it's interesting how you can sort of change what your deck should do based on what you're drawing.
Yeah, I know Rylan, you played a Lucian, didn't you?
I did. And I was going to say the one thing with Lucian is, like you said, you had 5 gear on him at the same time. And one of the combats, he had, I was attacking, and he ended up having like 15 might just from on his own from attacking. And it was a little crazy to go in with one of them and then just using spells to buff him up from there just if I needed to. It was... yeah, it was a little bit much, and I felt bad because the guy we had like 4 units on this one battlefield, and I just sent Lucian in, and that was it. Speaking of punch up too, that was a big help.
Yeah. No. I think I know that, like, just looking at it from, like, if you guys played League, I know Caleb hasn't played much League, but in League you have a max of 6 items you can keep on your person. I think they need to implement a gear limit. I think you said it earlier. So my Prerift event, the first one I got, I wash out lane, bro. 0-3. I couldn't do nothing. I pulled the Lucian. I just didn't understand what I was doing. I was cooked. Anyways, moved on from that one. Played my next one, and then played today. I felt the most comfortable after, of course, the third one, right? But I pulled the RENATTA. Transitioned out of the RENATTA. I pulled an Ornn. I was like, we're playing Ornn. That's the only other one. I was like, we're doing it. And honestly, Ornn is very strong. Very strong, especially in limited, because his ability, you exhaust him, and I believe at reaction speed you get a power to equip a gear to somebody. And there were multiple times I used that ability, and I was like, wow, this is really powerful, right? But I think after feeling comfortable with the legend, I proceeded to lose 2 games, 1-1, and I was like, man, like maybe I'm just not as good at the sealed events as I want to be, right? Maybe I don't understand the set fundamentally, but the first couple times. But the third time, I was like, okay, I feel like I have an understanding and I can approach this differently. But one of the things I noticed with the Ornn deck, I ran 8 gear, right, from 3 domains. And honestly, one of the most annoying things was stacking all the gear and then, like, moving it in unison. I thought, like...
Yeah, it doesn't fit on the battlefield.
It does not.
And for that, I mean, there's no easy way to go about that. I mean, people will probably find shortcuts to, designate, hey, this is on this, blah, 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 blah. But also at the same time, removal exists. It's just, I think it was really hard right there in the moment. But and because you're missing some of those core Origins staples.
Yeah, this is a removal light set.
Yeah.
Which is very different from Origins, which is very removal heavy. So I think our constructed environment is going to be very different from sealed.
Oh, absolutely. And that's part of the what I was saying when I was running RENATTA was, I think with the cards that I did pull, maybe if I even had some Origins to splash in, I think I did crazy.
I can't wait. I know one of my fondest memories in Magic was Return to Ravnica. You play RTR, what was it, Dragon's Maze and Gatecrash. Origins, Spiritforged, Unleashed. 3-pack you do 3 packs, draft or sealed format like that. I think that'd be a fun way to do like a sealed event.
Yeah, do 2 packs of each.
2-pack, bro.
If we get some more product in, we might have to do something like that. Dude, that sounds amazing.
No, do 2 packs each, and then everyone's playing I think that'd be a really fun way to do it. So like the variety in game modes in the future. I think we've talked about it before. The future for Riftbound, there's so many possibilities, right? This is just the first step, which is like, I think every card game does a pre-release, pre-Rift type thing, right? But I think Riftbound definitely, at this point, nailed the first one. I do have some gripes. My only gripes...
For sure. Yeah, there's some gripes, but...
Let's move on to the gripes. I want to just say this. No one box on this table costs the same at any store. Every store, there is a different price for these Prerift kits. I paid anywhere from $30 to $40 to $50 for a single box. What the heck, man?
And also pricing was completely different based on what store you went to, and it wasn't even correlated with how much you paid. So it's a little bit strange. You don't really know what you're getting with the Prerift experience.
With that, I say there's no real way of, there's no specific way that it's run. and it is really to a store's discretion. But for stores that are hosting events, try to give as much information as you possibly can. I know it was probably crazy this first time around because I know my store didn't publicly state how we were doing pricing and stuff like that till day of, just because, you know, it's the first event and we don't know how it's going to go.
My only concern is new players.
Yes.
I say this because you said new person was at the event. There was a new person at the event today who I played against. There's people who, even though I'd lost 2 games, the last round, which is 3rd round best of 1, which was wild, by the way, she wasn't going to get a pack if she lost. How bad does that feel?
I felt really bad because I played her right before you did.
Oh no.
She was super nice, but there were definitely a lot of new players there, and I feel like she probably played about as much as I have. I feel like that's a lot of people who are just starting out.
I feel like with price support, you need to leave with something. Everyone leaves with 1 pack. And so you know what I did? Because I did beat her. I got my price pack. I went up to her, and I just handed it to her. I said, I know in a week I'm going to buy more product than I know what to deal with. Just take this. I said, I don't want you to leave with nothing. But I said, if you pull the signature Ari, we may have to revisit this time.
I definitely understand that take on not wanting people to leave with anything. And I mean, y'all saw how we did it at my LGS. Everybody left with something. Now, I did put a stipulation that they had to stay a certain amount of time because I do know there was a lot of people trying to go and hit multiple events and stuff like that.
There was one store where they said, if you leave, we're going to ban you. You have to stay for like at least 2 rounds or whatever. And then 15 people just left anyways. So there's definitely this like mentality of just get product because they're so scared of it being another Origins repeat.
And you know, I can see why stuff like that would happen. I mean, Origins, there just wasn't enough product for the people. Spiritforged is, you know, the gateway for people to get into the game. They want to make sure they have enough stuff to get their hands on. I don't think Prerift is the way to go about it. I mean, it's what, 5 packs if you're going to multiple. I mean, you hit 5, that's 25. You got a box worth
I hit
of
4, but there's a 5th one later this week that I'm supposed to go to. But with pricing, I got about a box worth of packs.
And you probably spent anywhere from like what, $300 give or take off of entry fee. To me, that's just, I don't think that's the way to go about it. Especially because then you're also hurting these other stores because you're going and then dropping immediately, and that, you know, it kind of feels bad. You know, you're setting a standard for the community.
Well, I will say that my first event that I went to, the one I got shredded on Lucian, I got there, I was waiting. You know, we're talking with people that are coming in. Everyone's excited. We're all hyped, right? But the organized play at that location, and not to bring names or anything, was terrible. I want to say this because they handed out Prerift kits. People straight up took the Prerift kit, opened it, and they just walked out. And there was a whole tables where there were 17 people that signed up. Out of the 17 people, about 5 to 6 got up and left. First round, there was like 4 auto wins because people just left and they got wins from that.
I think that's just bad. It's bad for the scene because like we were talking about, I spent like $300 on a box worth of packs essentially, and then a bunch of bulk, and that's like a bad rate, obviously. But I'm not doing it for a box worth of packs. I'm doing it for a weekend's experience of
getting to play
seal events,
set,
getting to
really.
play, getting to meet new people, getting to play with new people, getting to revisit old faces because I kind of took a break from Riftbound for a little bit. But like, and I don't regret spending that money at all. Obviously, I pulled the overrun with Draven, so like it's worth it. But
Okay. But I get what you're saying. You definitely, it's the community of it all. It's
yeah, that's the really important part. And having people just dip, and like that ruins the whole event. Like there's no.
Yeah, it ruins pairings.
spirit.
It ruins prizing. It you're there to play. You know what I mean? You're there to play and have a good time.
It
right?
is an open play event. Now, I don't know what location that was. Honestly, this is the first I'm hearing of that happening. I think I that's scummy. I'm not gonna lie. If there's a way to go about it, I would say as a TO, I would probably report those people to UVS, like their accounts directly, and see about. I mean, not a ban, but I mean a suspension. That's crazy.
There's got to be forgiveness, and people are buying the product, right? Right.
I was gonna say, with people leaving and such, it is kind of it kind of sucks because this was a big learning experience for someone who, like me, is a new player, and to think that like almost a third of the people playing at a store left, especially for new players who are just sitting there waiting. Like, yeah, you get an extra hour to work on your deck, but at the same time, you don't really get to test it. You don't get to see how it works. And it kind of ruins the experience for other people just because you leave.
I think this is where, if I could give feedback to Riot or to UVS, probably Riot because they'll feed the system through UVS, right? Have prize cards for end of the turn, and the end of the pre-rifts.
100%.
Like if there was, okay, if you stay top 4 and top 8 or just different promo cards, right? You get them at the end. You incentivize people to stay.
I think the Yone card should have been one that was passed out on exit of the event. I think that's what that's something that'll keep people in. It's a participation promo, for staying and attending. I mean, that's already what it was. But instead of them just getting the box and then leaving, they then had to wait and play rounds, et cetera, et cetera.
Or even like a pre-rift pack instead of a Nexus 9 pack. That you have to stay for
that's
the
a
whole
good idea.
thing.
Maybe out of pre-rift pack, you get. Let's theorize what you could get out of something like that, right? Like maybe like for what was it? The release event, they got the origin stamped cards.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get a Spiritforged stamped card?
That would have been sick.
Dude, I'm just saying, I would have loved to Triforce stamped with Spiritforged on it.
I think another thing Riot could take away. I think they need that 6th pack in there. The seeded deck really helps out, but there's only so much you can do with the seeded and the 5 packs. I think the 6th pack balances that a little bit more than where it's at.
I think they did a really good job with the seeded decks, excluding RENATTA Glask. Like, they're pretty balanced. Unless you pull RENATTA, and then you're just like, okay, how can I pivot?
You pull RENATTA in a 1v1 format. Because then I think she's so underpowered. It's like, man, what else can I play if anything, right?
Did I pull another legend?
that or we're just not smart, and there's somebody out there that went 5-0 at all their shops because they pulled RENATTA Glask.
If you had a great pre-rift experience on RENATTA, please comment down below and let us know how and why, because maybe we're just not able to comprehend the next level plays that RENATTA Glask can bring in a limited format. I also think, pricing like a pre-rift pack would be super sick. Only available at pre-rifts. Never again.
There you go.
And then you put a chase in there, you act the collectability, you get people to stay, everyone's hyped. They're like, everyone, ideal. I mean, who's not going to open their pack unless you're John? Who's not going to open the pack then
Bro,
and there?
I hate that he does that. That pisses me off.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, we can't force him to open them, but I'm always looking at him with a glare when he leaves. I'm like, and then he posts like a W in one of our discords, and I'm like,
He'll send us in the group chat, and we'll be like, hey, look at this crazy, he pulled a GG Easy Teemo, and he sent it in the group chat. And I was like, dude, I hate you. Why are you there?
Want to give a shout out to Riot though for how they marketed the pre-rift kits and how the cases come. The box of pricing they send with it is a heaven sent. I think they're one of the only TCGs that do that. And, it helps stores that, that are paying almost market price for these kits to, be able to offer pricing without losing money on it. Because I know one thing for us is we want to make sure maximum pricing is, there. We want to make sure every single person is getting some form of something, as they leave or, for doing well in the tournament. And it's hard to do that when you're paying what you get for the box and that's what you're charging for entry. And then you you lose out on it.
That's why we paid $50 today, boys.
Yeah. To get one pack, maybe, if you win. That was crazy. We paid less at our LGS, and everyone got a pack minimum.
I think pack minimum, no matter what, on exit.
Absolutely
100%.
agree.
I think we should pivot to that pricing talk, and I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just going to say that, I mean, getting a pack on entry is just so nice. Not just like, again, getting it at the end, but having at least something to leave with is great, regardless of like with the LGS that we had, people who placed in top 16 and above got extra packs after that. I mean, there was like 40 plus people there. I mean, it was.
That's how you bring people back, and that's how you cultivate the competitive community. Is like people have incentive to build their decks up and learn how to play better because they want to place higher and get more product, and like that's just. I feel like that's a self-feeding system, and that needs to be a priority for LGSs.
And that takes us back to that conversation we had last week: is taking care of both your casual and your competitive scene, because you want a place where both can thrive and work well and intermingle together. So that's why, I mean, at RLGS, that's why we did the tiered pricing, and we included everybody at tier 1. Everybody that showed up, stuck around for 2 rounds and hung out with us and had a good time. Here's a pack. Thank you for coming. I mean,
And you bought pizza.
I was gonna say we fed y'all. I was like, I know people can get hungry at those events. With Magic staying there till 2 a.m. That was also another thing. Is we were trying to figure out how many rounds you have to have, and everywhere I asked, there was no specific round. So I was like, man, we're getting out of here before midnight. I'm not staying till 2 a.m. Man.
Well, we yeah.
I was going to say, the pizza was a very nice touch. Being able to, especially because it was, four games, 3 rounds? So best of 3?
Best of 3.
Yeah.
I think best of 3 is the way to do it.
Best of 3
Another
was-
story to best of 1. It was not it. It was
Bro,
not
best
it.
of 1s, you're out of there in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was nice getting out early because today was Super Bowl. But, at the same time, it would have been nice to be able to have a chance to really make a deck work. And 3 games made it really tough to get that rhythm and tempo going.
I feel like it's kind of goes based off of what you said earlier. Best of 1 does not give you the time you need to fully learn the deck that you just built. It's new cards. You're experiencing the cards for the first time and how they work. Best of 1.
A lot of new mechanics in the set.
Oh, absolutely. There's just not enough time in 3 to 4 best of 1 rounds to figure it out.
Yeah, I think with Unleashed Prerift, I mean, when you think about it, it launches this coming week. All of our stores this next Friday, right? Friday the 13th.
Hey, good luck.
Let's go get tattoos, y'all. Let's get some Riftbound tattoos. Hey, speaking of which, memberships are open. So let's not. I don't want to set the expectation if we make enough in memberships, we'll get tattoos. But I'm just saying.
Riftbound tramp stand.
Dude, I'm gonna get a dazzling aurora. I want to get just the power and energy cost. Put somewhere on me. It's like what? No, I think there's a lot of time for Riot to take the lessons from this first pre-rift to implement them into set 3. Now, again, set 3 is probably already printed or in the process of being printed. So
Guaranteed.
So major changes will need probably until set 4. But there's things they can do, right? Like, hey, maybe looking into prize cards, maybe looking into pre-rift packs, right? I think those things would help keep people there playing. One of the beautiful things that I love about pre-rift events and pre-releases, just getting product early, is trading. Let's transition to a little bit of Riftbound market, Riftbound trading. I want to say this. I want to start this segment off by saying, absolutely do not buy singles this week. If you are buying singles this week, unless you are trying to go to your first Spiritforged event with a fully decked out meta Draven deck, I'm looking at, who I'm looking at here when I say
If
this.
that's what you're trying to do, hit me up. I've got an overnumbered Draven.
There you go. Hit jumping up. But I think if you're buying singles right now, you're wasting money.
Oh, guaranteed.
Absolutely. If Riftbound is your first TCG, as it is for a lot of people, listen, those cards, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, it will settle down. It will still be vastly volatile, as we've seen.
Give it a month, honestly.
Yeah, with Origins, you would trade one card one day at $10, it'd shoot up to 90, then the next day it's back down to 40. The card prices are all over the place.
It's extremely volatile because the product's going to be limited. We don't know if we're getting another wave of Spiritforged or not. So just give it some time. And focus on trades, which is going to be even that is going to be weird and volatile. But
If you are going off of TCG player prices for trades, Justin was there with me earlier. The guy who you were playing against, I was like, hey man, I'd love to trade you for that Fiora. He had the Altar Fiora, and then he had the Aurelia champion unit. He looked up the prices, and he was like, Aurelia's $75. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to give you anywhere near $75 in value or in money for that card. Like, if you are brand new to TCGs, now is not the time. If you, just like Caleb said, or just like Justin said, if you wait a month, that might be a good indicator. But here's where you might be wrong, Justin. Bologna and Vegas are in 3 to 3.5 weeks.
true, that's going to change. That's going to change a lot.
And so if you are not getting your hands on product this week, there may not be any other way. So that's what I'm saying is like, if you're looking for Riftbound market advice, we are not financial advisors, first off. I want you to know that. But second, if you could trade for it, that's the beauty of pre-Rift events. You have the chance to trade. You have the chance to find the people that want to get the things. Now is the time. Trading is your best friend. However, no one knows the meta. Annie just took a championship. There's cards in the previous set and the current set that are going to go up and down. But absolutely, if you are looking to value your cards, I think maybe the closest thing that might be valid would be like eBay sold listings. But even that,
It's really hard.
I'm looking at some of these prices right
Dude,
now, bro.
it's ridiculous.
$100 for Altar Draven Red.
I pulled 2 of those. What the
$100
hell?
for Altar Draven Purple.
I literally handed Shinya the Altar Draven Red today. It was in Chinese. It was in Chinese.
yeah.
But I was like, dude, it's a rare.
There's going to be a million of them.
There's going to be a million of
Oh
them.
my goodness. My overnumbered RE is
650?
650.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what's the Draven at? What's
What's my
Jubbin's-
sweet?
Draven-
What's my sweet?
Yeah,
Draven
also,
ON.
Justin pulled Altar Ezreal today too.
I did. That's like, dude, I pulled like $1,000 worth of cards this weekend. I guess.
$500 for
The-
Draven
They're
ON.
ridiculous. Okay, and let's look at this.
And in the week, it's going to be less than half that.
$4,000 for signed Teemo's overnumbered.
I just want you to know right now, overnumbered Draven is nowhere near as pretty as overnumber Ari. I would buy 2 overnumber Aris before buying a Draven at $400.
Yeah, let's talk about the overnumbers this set. Excluding the units, the champion units they're fantastic. I love the Spirit Blossom aesthetic, but the legends, I honestly like compared to last set, not a fan. Not a fan.
I'm going to have to disagree.
Really?
I think all of the overnumbereds this set are heavily slept on because I think it's kind of like that graffiti, that real gritty, down in your face. It's cool. It's like a battle page for each individual, character. I think they're heavily slept on.
They do look a lot better in person because the foiling, like the texture is great.
Rylan,
But
you were gonna say?
I was going to say, I really like the overnumbers from this set over last set. Don't get me wrong.
Whoa.
I think last set's overnumbers are still good, but this set, I really like the two-tone colors.
Bro, you're an op for Azir though. It's because Azir's in the set, so you're like,
If Karthus was in this or was in another set, like, don't get me wrong, if it doesn't look good, it's not going to be good.
I will agree with him. The two-tone coloring is super nice. And like Jubbin was saying, the gold etching on them in person is what really sells it for me alongside the dual shading. One more thing. The foiling, how it combines the special foiling they were doing for red cards and the special foiling they were doing for blue cards and, or like whatever color, and then blending them together for the overnumbereds. They're beautiful.
they definitely, I think, innovated on the print and how high quality the print looks.
Yeah, quality assurance for this set was so much better.
I was going to say,
compared to Origins.
a lot of the showcase cards, and I know they're printed on a different machine than the rest of the cards, but every single card that I know was a hit feels good to hold this set, and that means a lot. That means it's going good.
There was a lot of cards last set that were like, I got this mythic or like this different rarity or whatever, And it's all flimsy, or it's got frayed edges or something. And this set, the quality assurance was significantly better. I was very happy to see that.
You could absolutely feel if you had any sort of alt art or any foil card, it felt like a little bit of a chonker. They felt really good to hold in the hand. Like the actual texture on the top felt really smooth, and just in general, like it felt like it was sturdy compared to like
Even the runes, like the alternate art runes, feel incredible compared to last set.
Yeah, I think the Riot knows what they're doing. They've hired the right people, and it's Nick. The dev, his name is Nick. I'm not sure if he's the leader of the Overnumber team, but he's definitely in the team. And they know what they're doing. They know how to. I think the collectability of Riftbound, especially for the big hitters, right?
Oh, yeah.
The signatures, the Overnumber, the alt arts. They are all so fresh, dude.
I just want to give a shout out to whoever did the arts. Let me see. The art for Spirit Blossom Ari.
It's beautiful.
Sean
It's so beautiful.
Tan. His signature, and I don't know if he went out of his way to do it, but how he did the little heart around his signature, it just makes it look 3,000 times better.
So the first pre-Rift event I went to, the guy at the table in front of me, I think everyone who went to a pre-Rift can had this moment, like we're all like kids, it's Christmas, we're all opening our pre-Rift kits. You just heard it at a table across the room. Whoa! Everyone's like, and you're like, what is it? I need to know. It should have been me.
I was going to say that Friday, I wasn't able to attend any events, but I was looking at everybody's little comments in Discord, and I was watching, and I was like, I feel like the kid who is like seeing all of his friends open their Christmas gifts like early, and I'm sitting here waiting till like the evening to open gifts, and I'm like, man,
I need to go.
I can't wait. I want to open.
I'll say today I woke up, I was like, I was itching. I was scratching myself. I was scratching my neck. I was like, I gotta go to this next event. I need more cardboard.
That's how I feel all this upcoming week. I know I'm gonna just go into the shop every day and be like, is it in yet? Is it in yet? Is it in yet? Just so I can look at them and feel them and hold them until Friday, dude.
And again, overnumbers are hard to pull, right? Because like if we look at like Origin's pull rates, it was like an overnumbered per like 1 to 3 boxes. I feel like so if you pulled an overnumber through a pre-riff kit this weekend, so Justin and me, I pulled the Seal of Focus, which it could have been anything. I'm grateful I got I'm grateful I got the Seal of Focus, but it couldn't have been anything else, right? Like, watch it have been an altar or an overnumbered RENATTA glass.
I think I saw about one per event.
I saw 1 to 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Wolves. Did we have 2 or 3 ONs pulled? There was a good.
There was
chunk.
yours. There was the prize for John, and was there one more?
I think there was one more. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong, but I would say that was around average 1 to 2 ONs per event.
I was going to say, because I mean, I kind of looked around through what people were saying through Discord. I have friends across the country as well, and they were going to their pre-riffs, and there seemed to be a lot more overnumbered and even signature cards coming from the pre-rift events. I think I had seen someone pulled signature Soraka here in town, and across the pond in Florida, people pulled it at that event too. I feel like signature Soraka was very common to see.
Or yeah, at least in the spheres that you're looking in, right?
Yeah.
I do feel that, how cool is it to be that person? Like even if you went 0-3 or 0-4 at an event, to pull something cool like that. I mean, it's all luck at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I was 0-2 for the first time in like 6 months today at the event I was at, but I had a purple altar Ezreal, so I was like, okay, well, I'm cool.
Hey, speaking of which, don't buy Ezreal's right now.
Yeah, don't do it. It's like $200 for the altar, $150 for the base. It's not going to be that much.
I know we've gassed. I know I've made shorts and I've gassed up Ezreal on the channel. Do not buy Ezreal for more than $80. Even $80 is so much
$80
money.
is a lot. He's really good, but $80 is very high price.
I can buy what Helldivers 2. I could buy games. I buy like 4 or 5 games.
The most
buy a Chinese box.
I was gonna say,
and I don't know. With the
Red
one I pulled
Kai'Sa
earlier.
was like what 120 at max for the longest time, and is now kind of dropping down to that $80 mark. The fact that Ezreal is $200 for the current version of him, I'm like, just just wait.
It'll
go
read
down.
my mind just now because I was gonna say you got to think the most expensive card in Origins went from 125, 130, and some cards being more expensive than it, standing out and being the most expensive card at 85, 80 bucks, in that being Red Kaisa. So I mean, if there's any lesson to be had, it's to wait, just to wait a little bit.
And especially for your commons and uncommons. If you're spending more, and your legends,
Dude, do not spend more than 10 cents on a legend. Like,
a dollar,
actually.
a dollar.
If you're
$1.
not getting your
TCG shipping, at least,
Well, yeah, if you're like at a store or something, but like on TCG Player, sure. But also just don't, just buy some sealed product and then open it. You're gonna open a legend if you get a box.
I was going to say, like, someone today, I was looking for Zir because that's the champion I really want to run for this set. Someone just gave me a Zir because they had an extra one. I was like,
that's exactly where I was about to go. If your community isn't just looking at these bulk extra legends and be like, oh, you're looking for this, and just handing it to you.
it was a little annoying.
kinda crazy.
The guy I was trading in front of Justin, he was like, I need the Draven. I was actually halfway tempted to just give it to him. But he was like, yeah, he's valued at $5. We could do this for $5. I was like, I don't really want to spend $5
Yeah, it's
for
like,
PR.
what are you doing?
In no more than a week's time, less than that, because stores are going to open product early. In a week, every legend will be $1.
Less.
Yeah, probably less.
less.
Hey, speaking of which, I think my hot take: the legends don't need to be in the packs.
I agree with that. Legends of Battlefields.
Legends and Battlefields. Okay, just look at Proving Grounds. Proving Grounds was a off-the-shelf game. Ideally, it could serve as a board game kind of thing, or it could be, hey, gut it and use it for singles, right? Battlefields should not. If you go to a Prerift event or something, they need to find a way to implement, hey, everyone gets all the Battlefields in non-foil. Everyone gets there's a product to buy all the legends in non-foil.
There would be no reason to do that, in my opinion, because you can use an unmarked battlefield and sealed. That's the whole point.
Maybe not in Prerift,
We're not talking about sealed. We're just talking about in general, because you don't want more than one copy of a
I mean,
Battlefield.
I'm also going to have to disagree. I think the way this is fixed is, I mean, there's already one foil slot inside each box. I don't think a foil slot should take up one of your rare slots for getting a, because that's part of the reason why people are only getting 1 to 2 rare common packs. I don't know if that's an issue or if that's just like something that they're still doing with packs.
It is an issue.
Yeah.
They said it.
And after that, the only thing I have to say is each pack should have up to 3 rare slots, anywhere from 2 to 3. Legends should not be included.
No.
I know legends are rare and they have the rare symbol. I think they should be in the place where a battlefield slot is.
Or a token.
I mean, even tokens. That's the third. That's the third spot. That's the third option.
The token spot needs to also include legends or battlefields.
Yes,
I agree with that.
And in foil and non-foil. That's how I see it. Because if legends are going to have any kind of collectability in the future, there needs to be a change in foil and non-foil for accessibility.
in each pack, it's 15 cards, right? I believe it's anywhere from 2 to 3 rare slots, and that third slot being replaced with a token, a rune, and that's it. It's a token or a rune. And I would even go as far to say is, like, I agree with you. It should also include the legend and or battlefield in that slot. And then the battlefield slot that is in the regular pack that, I believe it starts off the uncommons, should also be a slot where you can get a rare.
I just think if you're going to get a 1 rare pack and you get a legend out of it, it is like the pack is wasted.
It feels bad.
It's just it feels bad. And like, again, accessibility is a thing. We want everyone to be able to play the game.
I know in Magic, a way that they kind of address this is they have like token tins, or like for every set, or maybe not every set, but for a lot of the sets that come out, they have token tins. You get lands, you get tokens, you get like
and
all the things that you don't want to really pull in packs. You just get a collection of those in a tin.
And that is another product idea. I mean, they have the bulk runes now, so that's really great support. And then on top of that, you also,
Vault Edition next set.
the Vault Edition is coming out, so maybe like how
I haven't heard about that. What is that?
So it's coming with 8 packs.
I would say it's like an ETB equivalent of like Riftbound.
So they could definitely like, since it's that ETB type of deal, they could definitely throw in, a set of 3 random battlefields, or a set of legends, or
For reference, anyone that is watching that doesn't know what ETB stands for, in the Pokemon scene, ETB is Elite Trainer Box. In that box, you get like a seeded pack of like energies. You get some promo cards, and you get 8 or anywhere from 6 to 8 packs, depending on what the ETB is, right? I imagine with Vault Edition, I'm hoping that runes are. There probably is a product description out there, but at least runes need to be included, because there's still people that don't have the right runes. We went to an event today, and we used Pokemon Energy, and I was like, dang, the guy in front of me, it was his first game ever. We didn't have the runes, so he played a strength Pokemon Energy, and he was like, this counts for orange. I was like, cool. And then he played a yellow card. I was like, what are we doing here? Like not his fault. At the beginning of every game, I turned to my opponent. I said, hey, the energy rune counts for orange, or for the body domain, right? But that is not an ideal way to introduce someone to the game, because it's already complicated with like learning. And if you're learning with like the incorrect tools now, it is not going. I believe it's only an issue for this set because of the short printings and the runes not getting to every store in time.
They are going to have the rune box coming out too, which is going to kind of alleviate that issue. But if we're in the same product issue, I mean, that might get bought out.
Bro,
real
if we
quickly.
get to a point to where runes are being bought out, cooked, major cooked.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure that like each rune is like individually like 25 to 50 cents on TCG, because they're in that low supply.
Bro, when I went to the first pre-Rift event, I took all the runes I had from all my bulk. I took them, and I was like, if anyone needs extra runes, let me know, hit me up. I ran out. And then my next couple events, I didn't have enough runes to play my decks.
I donated some of my own runes to our store. Luckily, we found our rune boxes in time. But man, was it's something else. We cracked open 2, and that was almost still not enough.
Runes?
Rune boxes, yeah. You gotta think that's 48 of each.
We had a gigantic event though. That was one of the biggest Riftbound events I've ever seen.
40 people, and if everyone's using a minimum of 12 runes.
I did the math. It was a lot. It was like 500 to 600 runes.
One thing I'll say with Prerift kits, especially for at least the champion or the legend you're getting, having at least the minimum runes to run that legend would be nice.
And I would 100% agree.
For sure.
In the pre-rift kits?
That needs to happen. The seeded packs need to include runes. Please, Riot. I know the intent is like, hey, we're going to send them the rune kit, we're going to send them the pre-rift kit, but what happens if one doesn't show up?
I mean, that happened at one of our locals.
It did.
They had to completely reschedule one of their pre-rift kits. And, I do feel bad for the people that signed up. Like, it does suck. But also at the same time, I feel even worse for the store. That's,
Lost money.
yeah, publicity for them. They lose out on a whole weekend of, time that they could be using to gain more players gain community.
Speaking of publicity, let's talk about stores that maybe aren't doing the right thing here with their pricing, or with withholding pricing, or maybe not being transparent with certain things. We're not going to point out names, but man,
We've got some locals that have been really bad, and I've seen a lot of stuff online about stores that have been like faking results and doing, like really scummy things that you should not be doing, and it's bad for the game.
and not only bad for the game, but like Riot. If anyone in the Riot team watches this, because we have a little bit of a reach, please look at the reports and look at multiple. If there is a store being reported for multiple times by multiple people for their event either being scuffed, them not doing pricing, or dude, one of those stores here, I didn't go, but I heard they were not even willing to, on the day of pre-rift, to reveal what pricing was. What in the world is that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's insane.
And they got price support, because every store that got pre-rift kits got price support.
And that was when I heard about it, that was my biggest, diss with the entire situation was
And
Come on.
they weren't
I was
even going to
gonna
do
say,
pricing.
The player base knows you got the packs alongside your kits. The community is not dumb. They know. And I just think the situation should have been dealt with in a different light.
Oh, yeah.
I know not every single store, says what pricing is or can't, right away. I know I had a similar conversation earlier this week and I was talking to some of the people in our community about, how pricing works and why some things can't be done right away. Like one thing that I did say was we can't, at least at my store, we try to give 100% of entry back to the players. So that is one of the reasons why I cannot tell you exactly what the pricing is going to be until right before the event, is because it depends on how many people show up. But also with that said, it is still completely 100% possible to state what a minimum pricing would look like based off of attendance. And it is completely possible to say what a maximum pricing would be based off of maximum attendance.
So maybe like implementing a change in UVS for stores to be like minimum pricing, maximum pricing.
100%.
I think inside
event locator,
of the cardio event locator, there is a section with the description. I don't think it should be optional. It needs to be mandatory that you put a description for your event. I think some of these places that, if a report goes through for a certain event, they should highlight and go back through and see what the description of the event was and, see what certain things. Because, I don't know if y'all have looked on the event locator for the ones that I post and stuff like that. It tells you how many seats we have. It says exactly where the pricing comes from and where it goes.
Not every store does that.
All that kind of stuff. Like, it gives you so much information possible to where there should be as little questions as possible, but and that's even then we put our phone number in there. We're like, hey, if you have any questions, call the store. We'll be able to let you know or give you an answer.
I was gonna say, especially because as a new player, when I went to my first Nexus night, the reason I went was because one, yeah, it was close, but the store put a good enough description for me to know, like, oh, this is what's going on. But there were so many stores that just don't put anything. They just completely leave it blank, and they just expect you to know what's going on.
So there's a community this is all really good feedback for both Riot, UVS, and local game stores. That communication thread has to remain healthy if the game is going to succeed. Mm-hmm. No matter what, if Riftbound is going to last 1, 2, 3, 5 years in the future, right? There needs to be better communication from stores to players. And not that Riot did not communicate pricing, but Riot should really, I would say, Riot should really not implement punishment, but
I think implement punishment.
You think so?
Yeah, I think for the store one of the stores we're talking about, they weren't even going to give pricing until a bunch of.
They didn't.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they basically.
People had to go back to get packs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
and a bunch of players were like, "Hey, we should have pricing," and then they had to complain a lot to the event organizers in order to get anything, and that should be a scar on your record with UVS. You should not be in good standing, and there should be some kind of probation that you're on in order to get better.
Yeah, it's about developing a healthy relationship with your players, your community. These are the people that keep you in business. These are the people that you want to come to your store and play the games there. That's for at least a TCG shop. That's the bread and butter of what keeps you really going as a shop. And
yeah, but if stores can't sell you anything pack wise because they don't got packs to sell, you got to think
currently, yeah,
right. So it's a weird predicament because what incentivizes a store? Yeah, community is great. People are not into a business for community a lot of the times. Yes, it's important in the LGS scene. People are in a business to make money. At the end of the day, the company needs to make money to be able to buy more product to support more events. We're lucky Caleb runs the store the way that he does because he's passionate about the game. He wants to see us succeed. He wants everyone to have a good time, right? Not every store runs that way. Not every store has someone like that, right? So maybe also a reward for the store. Rewards for stores would incentivize. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, and it's going to piggyback off of what you're saying. The reward for that store is, well, and I'm gonna be public about it. Our store didn't get that much Nexus Night Packs, and it's leaving me wondering why. I wish, there was really great communication for this set about, what our minimum allocation was going to be for pre-rift kits. They've already done it for Unleashed. They've already told us what our minimum allocation was going to be for pre-rift kits. I need that to happen with the Nexus Night kits. Right now I'm still in the process of racking my brain on what to do with these Nexus Night Packs because
you didn't get enough to go
we
past.
didn't even get more. We got less than what we got for Origins. And if it's the same as last time where they're not doing restocks through the entire set, we're going to be in a pickle because
Foil E is going to be expensive.
I know people, for the ones that are going out, and not every store does a pack on entry like there's some stores that do, there's some stores that don't, and for the stores that don't, that Nexus Night Pack is that's that participation. And for me, for the competitive nights that we're going to be doing, is the pack that you get on entry would go into the pool instead of to you. That way, again, we have that casual and competitive scene.
But everyone gets a Nexus Night.
I need to be able to give people Nexus Night Packs for attending and showing
You're
up.
gonna want to leave with some. You're gonna,
Exactly. You don't
For
want
more,
to. You don't
but
want to pay an entry fee and get nothing.
Dude, nothing feels worse than paying entry fee, getting smoked, and then like going home, you're like, damn. And I remember that for Origins because you didn't have packs and you didn't have Nexus Night packs for a while. Not that nobody left because you had store credit.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had Nexus Night Packs when we didn't have Origin packs, but it was.
But it was by hair. You were the one that was managing that.
Yeah.
Not every store.
And even then,
It was pretty slim.
that
It
was
was
because
slim.
I got the chance to go to Houston and I brought stuff back for my store specifically to keep it out. That's something I did personally to make sure that the community stayed at the store. So I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I probably should, I probably will reach out to the LGS UVS support team to see what I can do about getting more Nexus Night Packs. I believe, we have a great scene, especially at our LGS.
Oh, 100%.
I know there's there's a bunch of LGSs here in San Antonio that, have great scenes, and I don't know their situation, but they probably didn't get the Nexus Night Packs that they need.
There's no way they got more than 2 boxes of Nexus Night Packs. And those 2 boxes, if you're hosting it, let's just think about this. We're lucky in our city because we have like more than 8 LGSs we can play at. Some cities have 1 or 2 card shops. And if there's only 1 or 2 card shops, and if the scene is anywhere near big, like they're going to run out of those Nexus Night Packs. I definitely think Riot implementing or maybe considering some kind of a solution for Nexus Night Packs or increasing the supply or revisiting Nexus Night Packs. Hey, maybe we reprint Nexus Night Origin packs and bring GG Teemo back. Maybe there's always Nexus Night Packs available for each set in rotation, right?
I 100% agree. I mean, at our store, my
or the choice to pick which one you get of the 3.
My manager, he was able to. He loves the SWU, the Star Wars TCG. He was able to get in contact with the people that do it, and dude, we have so many like promo packs back there. So whenever we do our Star Wars events, it's like grab 5, and it's like from a rotation of sets. Grab 5, and the winners get 1 from the newest set, and you're all set. I mean, it's like that with One Piece for us too. They send out so many. Bandai does a great job at making sure their stores are stocked with a variety of different promotional materials and promotional packs. And I think UVS, and I know Riot definitely understands where they need to be at with it. I think it's just a voice that needs to be shared louder.
This is just a ground perspective. This is a perspective from people who have gone to multiple events. Also, we're all locals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all play multiple events. Like
We play with each other like every week.
yeah, dude. Like every week, it's the same faces, if not more faces, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of new stuff.
A lot of new
If we
faces.
get half as many new faces that are returning in the next couple weeks at these different stores, we're gonna have a really, really healthy scene.
Well, yeah, and I think again, Spiritforged might be not everything that we're gonna be getting. Again, they've already said, hey, wait, Spiritforged may have supply issues as well. Set 3, they said it may be ironed out closer to 3. I think by 4, we're going to have a lot more visibility and clarity on like what's available. There'll be plenty of reprints. I do think we'll start to see that ramp up. I'm just scared because and I know we're past an hour already, but just to continue, let's move past the pricing, but tournaments. Look, guys, Bologna is in 2 weeks. Vegas is in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. First off, the Riot team who is flying back and forth between the events, Diana, K-Stu, Dave, shout out to y'all for like.
It's the same team.
It's this dude. It's the same team.
Oh my God.
They're going all over. That must
Holy
be
crap.
the coolest job, being able to travel everywhere and being like, I'm hyped for the game. I'm hyped for the game. I'm tired. I'm alive.
They're probably seeing the same exact people going to each tournament too. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna see Summoners Weekly here in Vegas. I can't wait. Yeah, we made you something special that I posted on.
I should have brought it.
I posted it.
You posted it
on Twitter.
Guys, I know you probably saw that community post. It's way cooler in person, man.
We're actually cooking something up for the team, for the Riftbound team.
Okay.
So we're making some 8x10 something special we're gonna hand out there.
Slight.
Maybe hopefully get some more allocation for Nexus packs that way, or I mean, I honestly would
Fingers
love,
crossed.
I would love to do Summoners Weekly sponsored skirmishes.
That would I want to host an event on a large scale in San Antonio. It just popped in my brain. Getting collectively with the TOs in San Antonio and the judges that we have. How amazing would it be
Have all the
to
faces.
run an event with every store? To just have something. A San Antonio throwdown. That
would be
cool.
awesome.
Bring a high OPL to San Antonio.
Dude, like if Riot sends us a case, I would love to do like some kind of like, again, I would love to sponsor. I only have so much money, right? But
I would love to do a sealed event with, as much people as we can to get it out and, individually see people's hands. I would love to do even like when we're in Vegas to do a sealed event with the Riot team or the UVS team. And we're really close into the Vegas season, y'all. It is, it's Spiritforged season, y'all. It's big, or not Riot, but Riftbound is about to ramp exponentially this month.
If your feeds are not already filled with Spiritforged or Riftbound content, prepare for so many deck techs, so many like decks that are coming out of the blue. I just want to say this: you said Draven was going to die in Vegas. Draven died before Vegas. Draven died before Vegas because Azir took second at a tournament, or I'm not sure if it was second or first, and he just came out number one at another Chinese regional or qualifier. And man, now that the US is getting access to cards,
the meta's going to change.
The
It's
meta,
gonna be cooking. It's gonna be crazy.
I can't wait to see. I mean,
Is it set 3 or set 4 that we're all going to be on the same release schedule?
I think they said 4.
4. That's when the brewing's going to get really crazy. So we're going to have that nice intermingle of both China and
The US. And French. Yeah.
Cards coming out all at the same time. It's going to be one giant melting pot, and it's going to be great.
If I'm not mistaken, though, the French aren't going to be able to get cards immediately. Yeah, the French. They're not getting cards at the same pace as we are, though. They're getting Origins later.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's
I
kind
feel
of why
like
they
with-
said the rule with the Chinese cards and other languages
Yeah.
are supported. But if you want like a French Draven or French Ari, you may have to. I'm not sure how the release goes. with
if I
that.
see a French RE in front of me, I'm spitting on it.
Oh, oui, oui.
But
Hey, if you spit on my Ari, I'm gonna, we're gonna have to fight.
Which one? The PSA 9 one? It might actually raise the grade.
I was gonna say, man, it's in a
Everybody's
slab.
Hey,
It's fine.
comment down below if you like my PSA 9 Ari.
Hey, speaking of PSA 9 Ari, I know we want to run a vlog in Vegas. So if you're interested in buying a PSA 9 Ari,
I still don't think you should sell that, man. I mean, like, do what you will with it, but I think you should hold on to that.
honestly, I think so too.
Well, catch us in Vegas and we'll see.
You tune in. I think the U.S. release of Spiritforged. We're going to see a lot of decks come out of the woodwork. A lot of weird builds. A lot of different builds.
I'm about to get crazy with Jinx.
Really?
I tell you, yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm building mid-range Misfortune. I'm also going to try to build an Ez deck. By the way, let's talk about our legends going into Spiritforged season. I'm going MF Ez. MF Ezreal, not combined, but I'm building an MF deck. I'm building an Ezreal deck, and I'm going to Those will be the only decks I play this next season.
I will say, I've only been able to really play Victor from Origins, and I got my hands on some cards today that really are gonna make Victor kind of pop off even
Yellow
more.
Renata Glask.
Not just RENATTA. There's that 1/7 cost card that it's a gear that you just have to tap it and you get 3 recruits.
Holy shit.
I know.
Dude,
and you can
what-
place them wherever you want.
What is it? Grand Plaza is just now such a more viable battlefield
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
going to be wild for Victor.
I can't. I believe Rowan I was talking to at the shop, and we were talking about 2v2s, and we were talking about an Azir and Victor team up,
Disgusting.
and how you can just build and build and build a wave, and just go grand stratagem, move in with 500 might. Oh, you unchecked power it? We're gonna go again with the second wave that we built up on the turn prior.
Send the next wave of sand
It's-
soldiers and recruits.
And it's why I so badly want them to run 2v2s competitively, because there's going to be some crazy stuff that can
Hey,
be done.
speaking of which, we're homebrewing, not me, but Caleb and Rowan have been homebrewing a 3v3 format, and maybe we'll present that to Riot in Vegas, because I see the dedication and what you've done to make that into a thing. And I will say, once we get that cooking, I think that's a really fun thing to possibly tinker with.
Once they add jungles, because they've said that they're planning on doing that,
Baron.
that goes with the 3v3. It's going to be wild. That's going to be crazy.
I'm excited to see how they innovate with Baron. I think as soon as they put the Baron photo out, I was like, he's going in between the battlefields. Battlefield, Baron, battlefield. There's a Baron battlefield. You can fight with it, and you got to fight the Baron. Baron's like 25 might, right? Both teams can fight, and if you get the Baron buff, whether it be a point or whether it be 2 points or whether it be you get some kind of crazy
extra channeling, extra draw.
stat boost or something like that, you make it worthwhile for people to get that to fight for that Baron battlefield. I think Riftbound games go from just like kind of a straightforward I'm getting point, you're getting point to where we're really paying like a
I'm
chess.
really
game.
excited for what they're going to do within these next couple sets, because it's already gotten more complicated, yes, but I think they've done a great job expanding on the mechanics with Spiritforged. And in these next couple sets, they're going to be cooking. I think it's going to be great.
Speaking of,
Also, wait,
sorry.
before you start, have you all seen the infinite combo?
Which one?
There's an infinite combo.
And yellow and purple.
Yeah,
there is a infinite combo. I believe it's from the first set, the purple card that is I move with you.
It's whenever you move a unit, I may be moved with it.
Moving it alongside the equipment that is when I move.
Cole.
No.
It's I have Riftbound.
Oh yeah.
When I move, create a unit, and then
Yellow Renata Glask.
yellow Renata Glass. It goes infinite. You make an infinite amount of tokens.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. Infinite amount of 2 might sand tokens.
Didn't they say that yellow purple was coming?
Yeah, they're going to do opposites.
And that's
Fifth set.
I was gonna say
5th set. So by the 5th set, you'll have an infinite combo.
fourth set.
Fourth set?
Fourth set is when the additional colors come out.
And my boy Rylan will get his
And
Karthus
that's what I was about to go. I
Please.
want to like transition to. I know you want your Karthus legend. I think it's going to be the
Please.
first purple yellow.
Yellow, purple, Karthus. It would be
Infinite
such a
sand
great,
tokens.
Not just that, like
That's going to be crazy.
Karthus is his R in League is a very powerful spell, just in general. And if that's his signature
Very
spell,
scary too.
well, it's really good when they're low. So I can imagine it could be really good for wiping out a lot of low might units off the battlefield. He might actually be really good against other yellows who summon tokens.
They did say it's opposite, right? Like it's like the domains that aren't represented until the new ones, right, have been intentionally not put together until like the enemy domains, right? I guess that's a way
Yeah.
we could say it, right? Because what was the other one? There's the purple combination was mystic or mind runes, right?
Yeah.
It was purple mind.
So the 3 opposite colors that we don't have yet is
Purple
chaos,
One's Teemo.
chaos judgment, which is purple yellow, mind and body, which is blue orange, and then fury and rage, which is green red.
Fury Rage, that's Zed.
Or not fury rage, rage calm.
Yeah, Rage Calm.
That's coming.
It's Fury Calm.
That's coming.
Another one, Shyvana, would be also a really good Fury and body. would be good because there's a lot of red and a lot of orange dragons out there, and
Garen finally gets good.
yeah,
Garen support.
You might be able to help correct me here. I know there's a legend in League that his lore is like he dies and gets reincarnated a bunch of times in this river. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Achilles?
Maybe. I just know
That's Greek. That's how I was just messing with you.
there's a couple that.
it's something about the Shadow Isles.
There's Ledros, who is
Blade of the Rune King?
Yes,
Mr.
yeah,
that's
Mr. Viego.
Viego.
Mr. Viego.
I
Viego.
think
Viego?
Viego, yeah.
we might see him in Vendetta, because something I was looking at the Vendetta things, it's a lot of people that have a vengeance towards somebody else. Because I mean, there's Mel
Well,
and there's
Vendetta,
well,
right?
duh, but
Yeah.
like you know
I
where
think
I'm
the
going
rest is
with that.
coming in Vendetta.
Yone Legend?
Yone be sick.
Zed.
What colors would Yone be? I mean, of course
What's
orange,
orange,
but
yeah.
what else?
Orange.
I think he might be
Orange,
red,
yellow.
orange yellow.
That's what I think. Order.
I could see it. Yeah.
He's like,
Based on his mechanics from League of Legends, I feel like he's purple.
really?
Because
Orange
he's
purple?
Yeah, his abilities in game are like he dashes forward and teleports back, which is purple is very like moving.
heavy, yeah.
Move heavy.
Yeah, I'm excited for Zed because when I look at the sprite token and I see temporary, I'm like, oh, shadows, temporary. And signature spell, deal for each temporary thing, do an instance of 3 damage to something, right? Like, that'd be insane.
Or for each thing that died this turn, create a temporary unit.
I do want to ask your thoughts and opinions. So I know for Spiritforged, overnumbered champion units were the first time, right? First time champion units, first time seals, overnumber, right? What do we think is going to be the first time overnumber if they're going to do any kind of innovation for set 3? Let's just kind of do some theory crafting. I think overnumbered battlefields.
I was going to say the same thing. There's only 2 ways they can go: overnumbered battlefields or overnumbered runes.
Gear.
Those are the only thing left. Overnumbered gear, yeah, that's
Well,
right.
I guess equipment, but
Yeah.
or spells. Overnumbered spells would be crazy.
Dude, imagine a full overnumbered deck.
There's going to be somebody crazy. Hey, maybe
If I
I
get hit
keep,
with an overnumbered defy, I'm gonna I'm
yeah.
quitting.
maybe I keep the signed Ari and try to get my hands on another signed blue Ari to create the
What kind of-
world's most expensive Riftbound
What
deck.
kind of a flex is that, though? What are you trying to prove?
I'm just
also, you're going
saying.
to shuffle the signature. How are you going to do that?
Just shuffle it.
That's gross.
You're gonna shuffle a bunch of slabs together.
No, not a bunch of slaps. Get just overnumbered runes if they come out with them with my overnumbered. I mean, you
Hey
already
guys,
have.
look at this guy over
you,
here.
I mean, if you think about it, there's technically already overnumbered battlefields if you include the world's bundle.
I want a
and-
full metal deck.
Yo.
I want metal runes. I want metal spells. I want metal champions units. I want a metal
Hey,
only bar.
and I mean, what's it called with them doing the ETB type product, and I know they're coming out with more product as they go. What's stopping them from throwing some metal cards in those as like a promotional
I
thing?
think they should make metal cards, store incentives to run good organized play.
That would be sick.
Like at a Prerift event, hey, metal Yone.
Or what if it's the shop's logo just on like a metal thing and with like the Riftbound thing?
No, I don't think that would. They know how much organization they have to get all the logos. Imagine
would
if they're doing
But
something
that's the thing. It's for stores that are just doing that well of a job. Like they send
like
it
the
as
top stores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the S Plus stores.
or like
S tier.
how Wizards has their Wizard Premium stores. That you could be. I'm pretty sure there's already stores that are UVS Premium stores.
There
Like
Yeah, we'll skip the names on stuff for premium stores.
Censor that with the
Yeah,
name
bleep
of like
it,
a
we'll bleep
Riftbound
it.
card or something.
But not that we don't want to give names out. We just like to. We want to remain a neutral
Space.
ground for people in the space. I will say, I think metal cards could be implemented for organized play. If not, like, hey, top 4 and at a pre-riff kit night. Like, hey, there's the or maybe like one of each legend. What is stopping them? What is stopping them? Nothing. And honestly, I don't know if you saw this, and I know the pod, this pod's going a little longer, so if you're watching, thank you so much. But Bologna side event registration went live and crashed.
I'm not surprised by that.
I
Honestly.
honestly am not either.
Are we cooked for Vegas?
Yeah, you're cooked
I
for
think it's just
Vegas.
gonna go back to you're gonna have to sign up in person when you're there.
The ODEs?
I really hope that they do better with the organization in Vegas. I don't know what did you?
Yeah.
You put my thing. I'm the guy who said that Vegas or that Houston was scuffed, and I hope that Vegas is better. I'm sure it will be, because I know that UBS and Riot are like, they're doing really good with improving the game.
They want the game to do well.
Yeah, and like they're doing a great job in improving it already. So I think that Vegas, like if you're going to Vegas, you have a lot to look forward to. I'm sure.
I want Riftbound merch. Give me a Riftbound jacket.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping we go to Vegas and Diana comes up to us and says like, "Here's a jacket," and then we can wear them for our pods. Like that'd be sick. I've reached out to another content creator and I was like, "Bro, where'd you get your jacket?"
Where'd you get
And
your
then I
jacket?
subscribed and I liked all of his videos. I was like, "Let me know."
I want to get just one more shout out to another channel really quickly. I believe it's Cards of the Rift, their podcast.
Into the Rift.
Yes. Here,
I think it's Into the Rift.
I had it up right here. No, Cards of the Rift.
Cards of the Rift.
Their buddy in I believe it's Australia is where they said they're from.
Aussies.
Pulled a signature overnumbered RE from Spiritforged. Congratulations.
Yeah, I put it.
Is it printed upside down?
No, is that happening with overnumbered cards?
It's in Australia.
Oh, no. Down under. I'm excited. And guys, we're going to wrap up here in just a minute, but I want to throw some updates on the channel here. If you haven't noticed, there's a join button down below. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's 3 tiers. We actually have for $5, you support our scrappy ragtag operation here. You'll get member-exclusive videos, early access to videos. So if you feel inclined to support the channel, if you love what we do here, please, down below, don't feel like you need to because you don't need to, but just know it goes to support everything we do here. You'll be a Rifty.
A Rifty.
Diana doesn't want to coin it. I'll coin it. I'll coin it. If you want to become a Rifty of Summoners Weekly, $5 down below. Middle tier gets you a little more interaction with us. I would love to start having podcasts on, maybe like doing digital pods, maybe having people who want to...
Screen right here, just screencast them up on the screen right there.
Look, I'm cooking. All right, I'm cooking, all right?
You could do an online guest game over webcam.
Look, I think that there's opportunity for some of that. So if you want to become a super Rifty, that'll be our 2nd tier level membership. And if you want to become a mega Rifty...
Summoners Rifty.
Summoners Rifty. For $50, you not only help us travel, get to places, get product, to give back, right? And to play for ourselves. You support the channel in a way that helps us keep going because everything we do here, we don't make any money on it. At least as of now. Soon we'll be like completely monetized and we can start, being able to bring over whatever that looks like. But just know, like, we are a scrappy ragtag operation here. We've said it before in multiple podcasts. This runs off of the will and passion of everyone who is involved. And this is why we like to put a spotlight on normal players, and we have a lineup of people who we're going to be bringing on. So if you enjoy the content, if you want to become a member, now is the time. Also, if you're in Vegas, we want to hear from you. We're going to be running daily pods in Vegas. If you would like to be a guest, reach out via Twitter or our Summoners Weekly email, summonersweeklymail@gmail.com. We want to coordinate this stuff. We have 3 weeks to prepare. I would love for Dave and Chengrin to get on. I want you to get a game in with Dave.
I have to. I went against, I believe, Steve.
Yeah.
Last time. Apparently, I gave him a run for his money.
Look, I'm just saying there's a lot of fun stuff happening here on the pod. We have more content coming out. We're going to finish this week. My goal is to finish the rest of the guides. Hopefully get the rest of the Spiritforged guides out, or at least like not beginner guides, but like cards to look out for. I really want to avoid doing market content. There's a lot of channels that do that already, and they do a really good job of that. And I also believe the market this next week, we already told you, don't be buying. If it's Origins, maybe, but if it's Spiritforged, wait a month. That's going to be our advice going forward for at least the next month. And then we'll see. When Spinning Axe is $150 and you could have got it for $80, you'll be like, curse those Summoners Weekly nerds. We could have built Draven for less. But also remember, there's 2 huge tournaments coming up. These cards are going to go insane in prices. So my best advice is prioritize trades, prioritize going to your locals, support the stores you're playing at. When you go, buy a soda, buy a chip, a single chip in a bag, not a whole bag of chips. Just, support the scene because that's the only way the game gets better. The stores are incentivized to do stuff. So before we get out, would anyone have any
final remarks?
Final remarks, everybody? We want to hear down below, what did you pull this Spiritforged Prerift weekend? I did put a community post out. Someone was like, overnumber Ari, overnumber Yone, and I was like,
I definitely want to hear from the people that pulled the Renata Glass seeded deck and how they did.
Yeah.
So please comment down below. I got to hear what I did wrong.
I want to just give a quick shout out. Rylan, thank you for being on today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me.
Jeb and Justin.
Hey, of course.
Thank you so much. And repping the Teemo prize wall
Oh,
hat.
yeah. I grinded for so long. JD was there.
Me and
This
you
guy-
both, bro.
This guy was there.
Hey, we all got statues, and
Oh, yeah.
I think, well, I got metal cards. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in on this week's Summoners Weekly. We'll catch you on the next episode. Guys, we hope that the Spiritforged release week treats you well. Get buddy with your LGSs, get your boxes, prioritize your trades. We'll talk to you next week. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Peace.